Perplexity has introduced a pro shopping feature for its pro users in the US. According to TechCrunch, AI-powered search engine Perplexity is venturing into e-commerce. Last week, the company debuted a new shopping feature for its paid customers in the US, which offers shopping recommendations within Perplexity's search results, as well as the ability to place an order without going to a retailer's website. For shopping-related search queries, the tool presents users with visual cards that have details of the product, pricing, and seller info, a short description, and the pros and cons of the item in question. Users can click or tap on the card to read more information, including reviews and detailed key features. Consumers can also store their address and credit card details in Perplexity for easy checkout. The company says it calculates taxes for your address so you can purchase the item with just one click. The company also said that pro subscribers will get free shipping for items purchased through its one-click checkout system. For now, the search engine's recommendations are, quote, unbiased, end quote, as there are no sponsored slots, Perplexity notes. The new search experience is powered by integrations with seller sites, including those on Shopify. Chris, are you buying or selling shopping via Perplexity?
Oh, and I'm buying this hook, line, and sinker.
Okay.
This is
You and Jeff
the future to
Bezos.
me.
I mean,
This
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the future to me. I don't know if it's necessarily via Perplexity in the long run, but this is the future. This is the story that tells where the future's headed. So much so, Anne, and I haven't said this in a long time. I haven't said that this much this year, actually. This is now my dark horse candidate for headline of the year, which we're going to announce in just a few weeks here with our friends at the A&M Consumer and Retail Group. It's between this, I think. When I thought about it, I think it's between this and Walmart getting 75% of its revenue growth from high income shoppers. I think it's one of those two headlines for me this year, because there's so many interesting dynamics to this story in particular. So first, I would call out natural language searches make learning about products easier, because you can filter through the things that matter to you as an individual. You're not constrained by the filters that the retailer gives you, right?
Yeah.
And so, and you can use that however you want, and you can have, Perplexity or ChatGPT or whatever, lay that out for you in whatever grid style, graph style, whatever you want. And so that's an important factor here. But secondly, the fact that they are offering this via paid subscription is really interesting to me, Anne.
For sure.
Because it gets people sticky to using Perplexity for search, and it flies in the face of Google and their paid search model, which in the long run is interesting to me, because in theory, my searches should be less biased if I'm using a service like this from Perplexity versus using one from Google that, runs their business on paid advertisements. So that's interesting to me in terms of being a disruption here. And then third, which is totally self-serving for me, I love the fact that I don't have to enter I'm sure you do too. I love the fact that I don't have to enter my credit card info again or my shipping address, and it's just stored in the search database. And so if I'm shopping for products and looking at these images, like I can just click onto them and be like, whoop, and I can just basically give a text command. I can be basically like, please buy this for me. And it'll buy it for me and it'll arrive at my house as soon as possible. That is amazing. I love that. This is the bridge to what we were talking about 5 or 6 years on the keynote stages, where we give presentations where it'd be like, there's going to be the merging of text with something new, text commerce with something new. And this is that something new, I think. But you were slanted eye at me. Why?
Because I think you're giving too much credit. I think you're giving too much credit to Perplexity for a tool that already exists, which is called Google Search. I
can't do any of this in Google. I can't do any of that.
That's not true at all.
That's not true at all. Shipping.
Yes, you can. Google saves your credit card information and address. You can do this.
I guess.
I think you're giving.
Maybe.
But is it enough for people to pay for? That's my real question. Is are you
going
to get people to pay for this? Yeah, but the search
and all the other language query features you get.
Yes, but you already have that. Google came out with this headline weeks ago. And so I think Perplexity is set up to be a true competitor of Google, but you still are going, and yes, sure, it's the bougie version of Google. That's what this is to me. It's the rest of the what's Anna Delvey, she says in Inventing Anna, that movie, when she's like, why are you so poor? This is the why are you so poor version is Google. And then Perplexity is now what the rich people will use. But I mean, number one, number one thing that you hit on, and that which is why I think my headline of the year is actually going to be Google rolling out natural language search and all of the shopping abilities that they are kind of giving to the masses. I think that's
Yeah, right.
natural language search is the key headline here. That has changed things dramatically and will continue to change how we shop. I don't argue with you about
So
that
we're
at all.
agreeing then, because that's basically that we're agreeing then, because that's basically what I said. Like
Yes,
I said,
but
I didn't
I
know that
think
perplexity is going to be the answer to this, but
sure.
this shows the future of where things are going, right? So
But
we
I
agree.
think that Google already showed the future of where things are going. Walmart last
Mm,
year at NRF, when they announced Gen AI search in their, text box on
yeah.
their website, like that's what's changing search, not this perplexity headline specifically. Like I still think that, what they're doing is just a horse of a different color. Like it's just a little bit, it's nicer. It looks a little more polished, but I don't think that Google's gonna, get away from this. I
And Google
used
will
it.
get there with these features too, right? And I mean, I think that's what you're
For
saying.
sure.
Like,
For
if
sure.
it doesn't have
But
them now, which I think it's debatable whether they have all of these now,
yes.
but it'll get there
Yes.
eventually. Yes.
Absolutely. Plus, I think you have greater user adoption from Google, which gathers more information, which is able to
Yep.
change how they're interacting more consistently. So I think definitely perplexity is something we should be paying attention to. The unbiased reviews thing feels a little bit of a stretch to me because it's pulling from the same sources that Google is. It's pulling from Wirecutter. It's pulling from Refinery 29. Like all of these sources are the same place. It's just being displayed a
Mm,
little bit differently. And
that's interesting.
I'm also willing to bet that Perplexity down the road ends up going the way of sponsored products or suggested products. It
Right.
might
Yeah. I
just
thought that was fun. Yeah. It was like how, or
like
like, yeah. Yeah. We saw you
so
shopping for this. Do you want to buy it at this discount? Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
exactly. But I
100%.
think the important thing is it's a great thing for people to try. I think
Yeah.
the last thing I'll say, Chris, is that
Yeah.
I used it last night. I was testing it out to see, how it displayed. I was looking for a wet dry vacuum, right? Now,
As
the
one does.
crazy,
Yes.
as one does, the crazy thing to me is I typed the same search query. What is the best wet dry vacuum or mop for hardwood floors? I put that in Perplexity. Beautiful layout. Here are the
Yeah.
options. Here are the
Yeah.
pros. Here are the
Yeah. Yeah.
cons.
Yeah.
I went to target.com and I put that in. And you know what it served me up?
What?
Dog treats. It served up a candle and it served up one like your standard old mop. And it says, we
Right.
could not
Right.
understand that question for you.
Right. Right.
That to me, that goes back to headline number one, which is like,
Yep. Right.
this is how people are going to be searching.
Yep.
You, Target, are not even
Yeah.
prepared for this. And it's going to come fast and it's going to come hard, and you need to be
Wow.
ready. So,
Wow.
that to me, that was a big eye opener that I feel like has to be discussed in closing.
See now, Ann, I'm going to give you kudos to see how you just wrap the show. You just completely enveloped the show from headline 1 to headline 5. You brought it back around full circle, completely enveloped it. Nicely done. Nicely done. And I could not agree with you more.